this. Let's find out.
Miss Hartwood, I think you're gonna want to see this.
Is there something in the closet?
Yeah, there is. You don't see the very obvious gate leading to whatever Jeremy's madness is serving up next?
I don't understand. Are you making some kind of fashion metaphor? I'm sorry, I don't have time for this. Can you just tell me what you're doing?
You don't see this. It's fine. It's fine. Catch you later.
Are you going inside the closet?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
No. Do what you think is right, Detective.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Goodbye, Miss Hartwood.
Disheartened by his failure to make Emily understand what he was doing, Detective Conby actually felt better seeing the frozen hell before him. There was a finality to it. Its clear symbolic opposite to the dark man's desert made him realize this was the end. Soon it would all be over.
I wonder if the game's coming to a close soon. Because we have put a lot of time into it. See if there's anything I can pick up. Where are we, though? Enter hell? What? An ice pick, okay. And a flare gun? Nice. Use the flare gun to light up the sky and look for waypoint flags. Light your waypoint. Ooh, and now... actually swap guns. Ooh, Alanya! The last one.
What can be said about Jacob van Ostad without evoking contempt or apologia? The first piece of information is the obvious. He is not the explorer Jeremy idolized in his youth, but the figment of his imagination. If you want biographical facts, I am not the one to answer such questions. In the case of Jeremy, he is a guardian of imagination, or rather a persona appointed the role of containing a self-sabotaging mania. However useful Jacob once was, his loyalty to Jeremy has slowly been replaced by fanaticism. Like a firekeeper who has for decades been burnt by his own sacred flames, now does what he imagines the fire wants. Jeremy has lost all control over Jacob and suffers greatly because of him, but is admittedly also still invigorated by his labor. In the plainest of words, Jacob keeps Jeremy sick so he can remain Jeremy.
Jeremy, in his imagination, just like how Juan can walk around and talk and stuff, he also has this Jacob guy. But Jacob is not the explorer from the books. He is an actual figment of Jeremy's imagination, right? So, Jeremy appointed Jacob the guardian of the guardian of imagination. And what happened is that instead of him containing the imagination, he became so obsessed with Jeremy, which is why it's saying containing the part where it's saying his loyalty to Jeremy has slowly been replaced by fanaticism. So instead of working for Jeremy, he wants to be Jeremy. And what's happening is that Jeremy cannot control Jacob anymore. So Jacob was there to fight off the darkness within Jeremy's imagination. However, Jacob has become obsessed with Jeremy, and what happens is that Jacob is making him sick. And the reason why he's keeping Jeremy sick is because Jacob is becoming Jeremy. Or that's why he keeps Jeremy sick, is so he can stay as Jeremy, because Jeremy can't control his imagination unless Jacob's doing his job. Jacob's not doing his job. The imagination is getting to Jeremy, the good and the bad. And while Jeremy's distracted trying to fight off that, Jacob can kind of take control. And as long as Jeremy is sick, Jacob can be, quote-unquote, Jeremy by being in the driver's seat. Like, to me, it feels like some type of split personality type thing, where he has figments of his imagination like Juan and Jacob, and also the Darkman, but we believe the Darkman is actually Miles. I don't know. This stuff is so confusing at this point.
We found the ancient Stellarium perched on a cliff facing the Arctic Ocean after a day of sailing due north of the Eskimo encampment. Jacob van Oostad was our most keen member of the expedition. He had been chasing down the source of a peculiar type of crystallized metal present in several sacred items among the natives on the northeast coast of Greenland. The site was a remarkable find for any explorer, and we were all enraptured in our search for enlightenment and meaning. The surviving architecture seemed almost unearthly in origin and astonishingly sophisticated. The metal Jacob was searching for was abundant, almost ubiquitous. We were so taken by our find that we were surprised by the sun falling below the horizon. As we quickly picked up our gear, ready to head back to our camp, Jacob van Oostad declared that he wanted to stay. He was adamant. We begged him to reconsider. The night would be getting colder by the hour, and we feared for all our safety. Jacob refused, threatening us with violence if we wouldn't leave him alone. As the snowfall turned heavier, we left him there on his own. The next day, the weather became worse, and we had to spend hours enforcing our shelter as our tents became increasingly useless. The group had ridden off Jacob, thinking he must be dead. I had an urge to make one final attempt to save him, so I headed out as darkness fell with a handful of flares, and headed toward the coast and up the climb, towards the Stellarium. That's when I saw him, transfixed by a burning sky, that celestial lantern. Jacob keeled over and let out a painful shriek that struck me with such fear and pity. He was crying in agony, for the cold weather had ravaged his flesh. I called out to him, and he turned to face me. His vacant stare held me in place like a needle through a butterfly, and he said, "You must leave now, Ashton. Go, and never come back." And so I left.
That reads exactly out of like a Lovecraft book. I wonder if this is like an actual like excerpt from the records. I might need to actually follow these since there might be stuff there for me to pick up instead of just wandering. Ooh, nice. Alright, there's another one. Mountain to my left. More flares. The cool thing is that since we're going through all of this, it means that we're probably going to be able to see what made Jacob like scream out. Arctic Ocean, stairs leading up to a weird little portal-looking thing. Ah, I'm so excited for this. It's real with the suspense. Is that the Explorer guy? Am I gonna have to fight Jacob Van Ostart? And the question is this Jacob's imagination? So am I fighting the actual Van Ostart? Or am I gonna be fighting Jacob's version of Van Ostart? Or
Hey,
Jeremy's
you!
version?
What are you doing here? What is this place?
Turn back, detective. You're not wanted here.
Whoa, take it easy. I'm not your enemy.
Oh, you're wrong, detective. You're wrong.
He looks like a Chthoni. That hurt. It stopped? Alright, let's see what's in here. It's a giant talisman. Oh my god.
Of course. I figured you wouldn't want your stars aligned, Jeremy. Maybe that is what you need. To temper that mania of yours.
Oh my god. What? This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm kind of scared of what's going to happen once I finish lining this up. Oh, we have to put this dagger in his eye.
God's sake, stay dead, will you?
Okay, can I get a redo? That was so cool. That's cool too.
God's sake, stay dead, will you?
I got this. I got this. Alright. Okay, so we just have to keep attacking him and then just plant that in his... Just keep hitting him with that. Run, Carnby. Come on, drink. not me.
Jeremy?
I did everything! Aren't you happy? Stupid charlatan! What more do you want from me? You want me to lose my mind?
Oh, my lord! Doctor! Baptiste! Quick!
Jesus. What were you thinking, compadre?
What the... What? Hey...
You awake? You are awake. Mr. Conby's up.
Hey, buddy. I thought you'd be knocked out for the rest of the night. Come on out and join us, will you? I'll save you some gumbo.
Good to have you back. You gave us all a good scare.
What happened?
You had a psychological breakdown. Sorry for manhandling you, but you're being violent, you see.
You stabbed Jeremy and then punched Dr. Gray.
Are they... okay?
Jeremy's a little strange, but everything's back to normal.
Really?
All thanks to you, combat. You want to try standing up?
Well, if it isn't the hero of the day. How are you feeling, Detective?
Never better. How about you two? Hey, Jeremy, I didn't do too much damage, did I? Things are fine. Very quiet. What's up with him? Painkillers?
No. You see, despite you having the finesse of a one-eyed butcher, you managed to lobotomize dear Jeremy.
I did what?
It's actually quite impressive. It's not like I hadn't considered it myself. I just wish Jeremy could have been helped without reducing his personality to that of an oyster.
But he's gonna live.
Of course. As long as someone keeps feeding him, he'll outlive the best of us.
So we went into the deepest recesses of Jeremy's mind, or traveled throughout his imagination with this talisman as a focus, and we found the Jacob, and we ended up stabbing him in the eye with the knife like we were supposed to. But in reality, we lobotomized Jeremy in the exact process that the doctor wanted to do in the first place, or at least was thinking about doing. And in doing so, we stopped the Dark Man? I need information.
Everything was back to normal. Did any of it really happen? What had Conby actually been doing all night?
And that's what I'm wondering, is did this stuff actually happen? Because with us stabbing Jeremy in the eye was the same as us killing Jacob. while we were fighting him. So has all this actually been happening, or are we mad, or is all this actually happening and somehow it's just being all tied together?
Does Emily know about Jeremy's condition?
Yes. She seems to be handling it quite well under the circumstances.
Alright, so it seems like I have to go talk to everybody now.
Does she still want to take Jeremy away from Derceto?
I will have to insist that you do. This is not that kind of institution.
Okay, so I'm stuck out here. Hey, she's wearing that mask. Is that a mask of, like, the original character design from, like, the original game? Like, hang on a second. Because if you go to extras, you go to character skins. That's what he looked like back in the original Alone in the Dark. That's... Oh, whoa. That is very unsettling. I mean, you can see the resemblance. Okay, you know what? Let's undo that. Cool little callback.
Hey, Ruth. Glad to see you made it back to Derceto.
You too, Detective. Make sure to stay for the festivities. It's no Mardi Gras, but it ain't bad.
You seen Emily around?
I saw her packing some things into that old jalopy you arrived in about an hour ago. I'm sure she hasn't given up on you yet.
Catch you later.
Looking forward to it, Detective.
Man. So I guess you can talk twice to each person and then you give an outro. There's Batiste, Miss Lottie, McCarthy, and a lady who has not liked me the moment I arrived.
Good to see you back on your feet, Detective. Have some gumbo.
Thanks. I'll save it for later. Seems like everyone's in a pretty good mood.
The Eve of St. John is the most important date of the whole year. It's the only day when the black goat of the woods tends to her young.
Of course.
I'm gonna go look for Emily.
Don't worry about her. She wouldn't leave without you, would she?
I would hope not.
What are you looking for?
Just keeping an eye out for the storm. Radio says it could be a wild one.
You don't know where Emily is, do you?
She's packing some of Jeremy's things. Said she wanted to take them away. I'm sure she'll come and get you when she's ready.
Should probably get a move on then.
See you around, compare.
So everybody says that Emily's back in the car.
That is one impressive tree.
More impressive than you could ever imagine.
So how does this all work? You dance around chanting? For the ritual, I mean?
Stay and find out, Detective. It might just do you good.
Okay, so the ritual's still happening then, I guess?
You haven't seen Emily, have you?
No, Detective. I haven't.
Or do they think Emily's gonna be used as a... I think Emily might be used as a sacrifice. Either that or her. But I guess this is a cult.
All right, tell me, what the hell's about to happen here?
Every year we have a little turn-the-page ceremony by the tree. It's symbolical. It's like life has its cycles of grief and happiness. You know? Just like a tree facing the seasons. Things change, but remain the same.
So this is basically New Year's Eve, but with a tree metaphor.
Exactly. You're so smart. It's about starting again. I mean, who could use a positive message like that more than a bunch of lunatics like us?
I get the feeling some of you think this year is going to be special. Any idea why?
Well, we got some new words, thanks to your buddy Jeremy. And some other changes to the program. Let's just say we're all in this year.
Hey, kid. What are you up to?
Preparing for the ceremony. I don't want to disappoint Mother.
What's your part in this?
I'm the Cabresan Corn. It's very important. Only I can settle our debt.
You know, I had my doubts, but you are in the right place, Grace.
I think you might be right. For once.
The only thing left to do is talk to the fountain. Let's wait for Miss Hartwood.
Everyone knows what to do? Y'all know the new words.
Mrs. Thompson, we talked about this. I'm not sure everyone is comfortable.
Doctor, I insist. This is important.
We've waited for so long, Doctor.
Let's just go with the old song. Not every change is an improvement.
Boss, good or bad, we need to move forward.
All in, Doc. Let's bet it all.
But we don't know what we're dealing with.
It'll be okay, Doctor. Better even.
Ever there are praises in abundance to the Black Goat of the Woods. Hear us, Mother. Take pity on us. Take pity on us.
Ever there praises and abundance to the Black Goat of the Woods.
Hear us, Mother, and take pity on us. Take pity on us.
Hear us, Mother.